Hello, this is Jasmine Lammers, LPC. I am coming to you to talk to you about something that I have developed through my therapy work with transgender and gender nonconforming individuals. This is an idea that I had created on my own just to try and help understand and help other people understand the journey of gender transition and some of the complications that come in it. This is actually something I call the four horsemen of the transitioning. It is an idea that I don't think you'll find anywhere else because I had developed it myself. So unless somebody else has developed it in tandem in some way, shape, or form that I was unaware, then I'm sorry for whoever actually has this information. But I'll go forward anyways. So the four horsemen of the transitioning are basically four insidious feelings that we can get, thought patterns, things like that when we're transitioning. Is they're pretty much societally made. They're not something that's innate. I have been able to find and determine basically what structures in society create these ideas. And I can definitely assure anybody that it is not the transgender individual, but rather societal teachings that are transphobic that cause these ideas. The four horsemen are the gender void, imposter syndrome, Frankenstein syndrome, and the ugly duckling paradox. So let's go through these. First one is gender void. Gender void is what I consider the most insidious one of them all. It is when we sit here and say, what's the use? Why am I trying? This is too hard. I can't do it. What is it even worth it? Should I even struggle against all this? Is there even a reason for it? It's basically when we start doubting ourselves, doubting our gender identity, and what actually makes us happy in life. Usually because of the uphill battle it takes to actually get to that happiness. We have to go against the current, up the hill, however you want to think of it, in order to get there. So we have to exert so much more energy and effort. And society isn't built around this idea. It cannot support us properly at this point because there's not a societal structure to support us. In fact, there's societal structures to oppose us. And so it causes a lot of effort and a lot of pain because of that. Because we see it as being just so powerful we can't fight back against it very easily. We succumb to the gender void quite often and just go into the what's the point? Is this even worth it? Why am I even trying kind of thing? That one we can basically go against by basically going through the same reasoning structure that made us start transitioning in the first place. We have to remember all the ideas that we've had and we have to re-go over them in order to get out of the gender void again. We have to sit there and say, well, no, I mean, I started this transition because I was miserable. I started because I was physically ill from trying to resist it. Yes, I have societal problems, but it's not as bad compared as to the physical damage. I was dying basically inside and out by not transitioning. So transitioning is what needs to be done. And yes, it is hard. But it's not hard because of me or because of the natural process. It is. It's hard because society doesn't support us the way they should. So that's pretty much what you have to do. Just go through your reaffirmation process over and over again every time you fall into that gender void. Second one is called imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is the one that everybody probably can guess what it talks about. It talks about this idea that we at some point start thinking that maybe we're a false person, a false man, a false woman, a false non binary individual, agender individual. And this is created because a lot of societal ideas love to try and make us believe this, even though if you look at them deep down, it's basically people coming from elementary level biology who don't understand college level biology, how there's actually more than two biological sexes in nature and how it's quite a natural process. Our bodies are capable of going either male or female, even if we have XXXY chromosomes. So it's one of those things where it is not it's not capable of being an imposter. We are we. We are us. We are the individuals, and we are a man, we are a woman, we are non binary, and we can't be anything else. We have to be who we are. It's more of an imposter for me to be a man than it would be for me to be a transgender woman. Just because that isn't who I am. That's the imposter, not who I am now. And the biological sexes and the whole gender identity formation and all this idea structure, along with the diversity and natural inclusivity of it all, and how versatile our bodies really are regarding biological sex, shows this idea. Yes, you can't change the chromosomes, but you can change what we consider a man and a woman through hormone introductions. I mean, after all, I've done that. So how can that be unnatural if I've done something that the body naturally accommodated for? It wasn't actually unnaturally created in any way, shape, or form, other than I was taking a pill. But so does women who are in menopause take a pill to counter their lower hormone effects. So it's one of those things that, again, you can't be an imposter. Third one is the Frankenstein syndrome. Frankenstein syndrome is basically when we are talking about the idea that maybe I'm turning myself into a monster. I'm becoming a freak. This is unnatural. And it comes along the same arguments as before. If this is so unnatural, how come it happens so normally? And also, what's so not beautiful about this? I mean, after all, at least half of the population in one way or another has the same things that I do. And so, how can I not be beautiful? How can I not be something that is human? How can I be unhuman? Nobody can be unhuman. I mean, it feels like we're unhuman just because society keeps trying to pressure us into thinking we're unhuman. But really, there is no inhumanity about being transgender. Transgender has nothing wrong with that. It is a natural process. It happens in even the animal kingdom. I mean, look at the spotted hyena, which is all of the females are transgender men. If you look at it, they have male genitalia. They even give birth through it. And that's one of those interesting things that even the natural world has it. So how can we be so unnatural about it? Fourth one is the ugly duckling paradox. Ugly duckling paradox is, you can pretty much read the ugly duckling story and understand what I'm referring to here. It's a paradox because in the ugly duckling story, the duckling was made to feel ugly because of the people around them telling him he's ugly, that he's useless, that he can't find love, he can't find home, a place to be respected. He is shunned only because he is different, not because he is ugly, but because he is different. And he wanders for a long time, having a hard time finding a place when he realizes that he's always had a place. He is a beautiful swan. He is this beautiful creature that has such a great place in nature and in the world, and has similar beautiful creatures that nearby that are like him. And that's the paradox. They make us feel, society makes us feel like we don't belong, that we can't have a normal life, a normal job, a normal love, a normal children, all those things. But we can. There is nothing wrong with that, and we have the full ability to do that. We just have to push past this generalized idea that says we can't. I have a normal life. I have a normal job. I have a normal house, normal love. I have a normal family. It is capable of being done. And it is just as capable for a transgender individual as a cisgender individual, unless society decides to try and damage or sabotage it. It's a fight that we really have to kind of go through. Now, this is the four horsemen of the transitioning, as I said, that I was talking about. Think about them. If you have any questions, that you can always put them on the comments, and I would try to answer them in future videos, or individually, potentially. So feel free to go down to the comments to try and talk about this. Otherwise, I will continue with my information, hopefully, in future videos of the things that I have learned as a gender specialized therapist, the hypotheses that I have created to try and help myself and my clients understand this whole natural beauty that is being transgender is all about. I thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.